Josh, I'm assuming Berkshire B is yours quickly?
Yep, the breakout is real. This is confirmation today.
Josh Brown?
Berkshire Hathaway, new 52-week, new all-time high today. Might be one of the perfect stocks for this moment in the economy.
All right, lastly to you. Okay, Josh Brown.
Alpha.
Josh Brown?
Carlyle Group, hanging in better than most of the other stuff I own.
Add some defense here.
Okay. Josh Brown?
Berkshire holding up better than many stocks. I think that will continue.
Okay. Steve Weiss?
In no rush to deploy cash. I'm staying.
Range means it's about a 9% risk.
Josh Brown?
I am going to short sell Coinbase right at Joe's stop, exacerbating his loss. I like Live Nation here. Stock has held up really well.
Okay. Josh Brown? Josh Brown?
Sticking with Amazon. Happy to see more recognition for how undervalued the.
To our bro, Josh Brown.
Yeah, I did some channel checks. They don't sell nothing in Europe or in Russia. It's like mostly Arizona.
Right,
I think the stock will be okay.
This is a stock that you've owned for a while, yeah?
Yeah, it's fine. Holding up really well.
Start us off today.
I was just going to say, shout out to Liz, but if SoFi gets under 10, and I think it will, it's too much punishment for that name. I think you buy it there.
Oh, okay. Interesting. We'll watch that for sure. Jenny.
My other new buy from last week was Foot Locker. After a disappointing guidance, stock traded down 30%. Now it's trading at 6.5 times earnings, 5.2% yield, $3 billion market cap with $1 billion.
Charge point, looking sexy.
All right, Liz Young.
Short-term treasuries.
All right, Joe T. Day for that stock, as Josh Brown told you. Josh, speaking of.
Amazon just erased a 20% sell-off to start the year. I think the stock has been de-risked.
Interesting. Okay, thank you for that. Moving forward. Josh Brown.
Don't tell anyone, but it looks like a breakout in progress on Dutch Bros. Stock's breaking above 60, which it's been trying to do since early February. This could be it. We'll see.
Who's Fubo? That's you, Pete? Josh Brown, quick.
Better than cash. SHY, 30-day SEC yield, almost 1.5%.
All right.
No cold strike. That is an alternative.
Josh, we're going to expand, too, on this idea of how important next week is. Give me a few thoughts to look ahead to what we're going to discuss today in overtime on what's riding on these earnings reports.
I think Apple has to hold 150 post-earnings or leading into earnings. We'll see what happens. Okay. I think Microsoft is equally important, 275.
Gotcha. I'll see you in a... Josh Brown.
I would say Moderna is getting back to an interesting level. The last time I bought it was around 125. I may dip back in as it gets closer. This stock has just been overly punished.
Okay. And finally, Pete. Give me a name, Josh Brown, before I run. Pointing that fact out. All right, Josh Brown, what do you have?
Carlyle Group had very good earnings, $300 billion in total assets under management, and the fee income on those assets is growing despite the lumpiness of distribution. So I love this name, 2.7% dividend yield.
All right, Josh Brown.
JP Morgan, 8 times earnings, 3.25% dividend yield. If it's not pricing in a recession yet, it's getting awfully close. I would be a buyer here in the low.
Do it.
Okay. And Josh Brown.
My own transport, FedEx. I think this stock may have put in a longer-term bottom. We'll see what happens. I'm staying long.
All right. And by the way, did you see that positive note today from Adam Jonas on Ford and
Don't try
GM?
to make friends with him now.
I'm going to try. I am. That's how we do it.
The A block.
That's how we do it. We all saw the A block. Seriously, though.
Josh Brown.
IEO, cheap stocks, healthy dividends. Still think the earnings grow into the end of this year. I would stay with this trade.
No Candy Crush today, huh, Josh? I appreciate that, by the way. I'll let you know that.
No, I'm super dialed in.
Okay, yeah, I could tell. I could really tell. Dr. J.
Snap Mel, SNAP, Big upside call buying out in January. I bought calls out there as well.
Joe T. Josh Brown.
Just actually wanted to give people a follow-up on a final trade recently. FedEx is a stock I picked up in the low 200s. Now it is back above both its 50-day and its 200-day. 50-day is turned up. Relative strength, RSI, is about 62, so not overbought yet, still has room. I am rolling up my stop, playing with the house's money. If you followed me in on this one, I suggest you do this.
Runway still to go here.
Josh Brown.
When in doubt, park it. SHM is a short-term muni bond fund. If you're at the top tax bracket of 43%, this 1.85% yield is the taxable equivalent of about a 3.25% yield. Not bad. Better than being down 10 or 15%. So that's what I'm.
Josh, you get the last word.
Noble. These are dividend aristocrats. These are companies that are in an index, and basically they've been raising their dividend every year for 25 years. It's a short list. There aren't a lot of companies on here that make the list, but these are the types of stocks that I think you can get through the second half with, and you'll be fine. Danny Meyer just bought another 21,000 shares of Shake Shack yesterday. That's about $831,000 worth of stock. He already has 1.8 million, so you only buy in the open market for one reason. You think it's undervalued and it's going up.
All right, good stuff. Thanks for that. Jenny.
Well, clearly, if Josh is buying Shake Shack, he thinks that people are doing A-OK enough to buy expensive hamburgers. So I will follow his lead and give you Compass Diversified Trust, another consumer stock that owns things like Marucci baseball bats and Storno.
Okay.
4.5.
Josh Brown.
ITA, this is the aerospace and defense ETF, the perfect sector for the era of fist bump diplomacy.
Yeah. Jason Snipe.
I like Costco here. Sales were up 20% in June. Traffic was up a little over 10%, trading at 36 times, which is a little expensive, but I'd like the name here.
As I said, Josh said you may see him this afternoon. Of course, he's clearing his schedule.
You also may not.
What's your final trade?
Nvidia. If you think
okay.
if you think this tech bounce has legs, this name will definitely play. Right. It's up double the. The most interesting thing happening today, I have no position, is WWE. This is a no-brainer acquisition for Amazon or Netflix. I think it's very likely to happen now that Vince McMahon is stepping down. The street seems to think so as well. So no trade on for me yet, but This is very exciting.
Think about what your wrestling name would be. I'll come.
Has a 4.5 dividend yield.
Josh, got to make it quick.
Well, I want to highlight what's going on in shares of Lyft today because that stock is off 21% after an earnings disappointment. They said they only grew active riders by 7%. Uber grew theirs by 22%. And you're seeing Uber, which is my final trade, higher on that news. You almost never see these two trade apart from each other after reporting earnings.